Hello everyone, welcome to the Programming Kida. In this video, we have learned what is a injection. Is one of Dependency injection is one of the most important concepts in Android development and a must know the topics for the interview. Unfortunately, the many developers memorize a Dagger and Hilt annotation without understanding what a dependency injection is really means. In this video, I will explain what is a dependency injection from scratch using a real life example, simple Kotlin code, and interview ready explanation. So we can start the video. First is a what is a dependency injections and what is Android interview ready explanations in this video in program kida and an Android interview series. So the injection is one of the most important concepts in Android development, especially when we talk about a modern Android architecture and tools like a Dagger and Hilt. In most in almost every Android interview, interviewer asks a question related to dependency injection because it's play a key role in writing a clean, maintainable, and testable code. Many developers jump directly into learning annotations like inject or Hilt Android app without clearly understand what is a dependency injections actually means. In these sessions we will first build a strong foundation of the dependency injection uh, concepts using simple language, real life example, and Kotlin code, so that advanced tools like a Dagger and Hilt become a very easy to understand. Uh, so Android interview reality means Dagger and Hilt are asked in the most Android interview, but many developers are not clearly about the dependency injection concepts. uh, every developers his understand the annotations are known as concepts in missing. So in the real Android interview, candidates are frequently asked a question such as what is dependency injection, or why do you use a Dagger or Hilt. Many developers struggle to answer these questions clearly because they are memories, syntax, and annotations instead of understanding a core ideas. Interviewers are not interested in whatever you remember the annotations by heart. They want to see whether you understand why dependency injection is needed and how it improve the quality of your code. If your understand of a dependency injections was strong, you can confidently explain a Dagger and Hilt as well as. So uh, what is a dependency injections means. To understand a dependency injection, you must first understand what is a term of dependency. In simple word, when one class is needs to another class to perform its work, they require a class is called as a dependency. For example, a car needs an engine to run. Similarly, in Android, activities often need a view model. A view model needs a repository, and a repository needs API service or database. In all these cases, the view model, repository, and API services becomes dependency. Dependency are very common in a software development, and managing the properly is extremely important for writing a clean code. A real life example for a car and engine, like let's understand, takes in a simple real life example to understand the dependency clearly. A car in needs an engine to run. A car cannot function without an engine. This means that the car class is dependent on the engine class. Here, the car is a dependent class and the engine is a dependency. This is an example in a commonly used because it is easy to understand and directly map to real world Android scenarios. Just like a car should not worry about how an engine is manufactured, a class should be not worry about how its dependence to create. Uh, Without dependency injections, let's now look at a scenario where the dependency injection is a not a use. In this case, car is a class created its own engine object inside itself. This means a car class is a responsible not only for a driving logic, but it also creating the engine. At first glance, this approach looks simple, but it's create a strong dependency between car and engine. This is known as tight coupling. When class are tight couple, uh, change one class often force change in another class, which is not a good design practice. Problem without dependency injections. There are several problems when dependency injection is not used. The first problem is tight coupling, where a class is heavily dependent on another specific implementation. The second major issue is uh, testing. Difficult to test. When a class is created a own dependency, it becomes very difficult to replace them to a fake or a mock object during a unit test. The third problem is a maintainability. If the dependency implementation change in a further, you can force to modify the dependency class, as well as the issue make to code harder to maintain a test and scale in a large application. With dependency injections means, now let's see how to dependency injection is solved these problems. Instead of creating the engine inside the car class, we pass the engine from outside through the constructor. This means the car class only know that it needs to engine, but it does not car how the engine is created. This approach remove the tight coupling and make the code loosely coupled. uh, Loose coupling allows use to change or replace a dependency without modifying the dependency class, which is a core principle of a clean architecture. Dependency injection definition. Dependency injection can be defined as a design patterns in which an object is received in a dependency from outside or in an external source rather than creating them itself. In other words, is a responsibility of creating a dependency is moved to outside the class. The single dependency is extremely important from the interview. uh, if you can confidently explain these definitions along with the simple example, you can easily satisfy the most interview. Real life analog in an restaurant. A real life in analogs makes the dependency injections even if it's easier to understand. Consider a restaurant scenario. When we go to restaurant, you do not enter the kitchen or and cook your own food. Instead, the food is prepared by someone else and served to you. Similarly, in dependency injection, a class, it does not prepare its own dependency. Instead, dependency are prepared externally and inject into a class. This separation of responsibility leads to clear and more maintainability system. Dependency injection in Android. In real Android application, dependency injection is used extensive. Activity depends on view model. View model depends on repositories, and repositories depends on the data source like retrofit and room, such as a retrofit API or room database. Dependency injections help manage this relationship. By injecting a dependency, we avoid creating object manually in activity or view model, which result is clear code and better separation of concern. Why use dependency injection? Dependency injection is used to become its offer a multiple benefits. It prompts loose coupling, which makes the code is flexible and easy to modify. It simplifies unit testing by allowing the use of mock or fake dependencies. It improves the code reusability and readability. Most importantly, it supports a clean architecture without turning them into an unmanageable code base. These benefits make a dependency injection a must-have practice in a professional Android development. Dagger and Hilt clarification. Dependency injection is a concept. Dagger and Hilts are tools. They helps to dependency in Android. One commonly misunderstanding among the developers is confusing which is a dependency injection with tools like a Dagger and Hilt. Dependency injection itself it's only a concept or design patterns. Dagger and Hilts are two that help to implement these concepts in Android application. They automated the process of creating and providing a dependency. Without understanding dependency injection, learning Dagger or Hilt become a very difficult. Therefore, mastering the concepts should always become before learning the tools. Interview one line answer. Dependency injection is a design pattern where an object is received and its dependency from outside rather than the creating the itself. Means in interviewer, time is limited and interviewers often expect the crisp and clearly answers. A perfect is a one line answer is dependency injection is a design pattern where an object receive its dependency from outside rather than creating it itself. The answer is simple and accurate and demonstrate a clear understanding for this concept. Uh, Summary, to summarize, we will first understand what is a dependency injection is and why dependency exists in software patterns. With explore the problems caused creating a dependency externally, or after in that we also saw the how dependency injection is solve these problems by providing a dependency from outside. Finally, we have clarified the difference between dependency injections as the concepts of Dagger or Hilt tools. With this foundation learning, advanced dependency injection becomes much easier. So now the concept of dependency injection is clear. The next logical step is to understand how it is implemented in a real Android project. In next session, we will explore the what is inject annotations with a practical example and that show how to dependencies flows and activity and wave model to repository. This will be help to connect theory to real world Android development. So the video is helpful to follow and like and subscribe for this YouTube channel. Thank you.